Hi guys, welcome back to another chapter day series. Like I said, okay, I'm going to put in some sound effects, but that will probably be in the month of October because this month is as good as done and I have not, reached my goals or achieved my goals for this month, and I feel like I'm not like in the best, well, not in the best state, like nothing's wrong with me, but I just feel like I'm not content with where I am. Not where I am, but not also what I have, but things I want to achieve. That's the right thing. Like I feel like I've achieved a good amount of things, but it's just not enough for me. And that is not being content. And it's not living right by doing that. So I have to be content with what I have achieved for me to grow. So, yeah. I'm just, going to make 10 goals for myself each month and try to stick with those 10 goals for the month. So I will update you if I've achieved any of them. Anyways, welcome back to another chapter day series. I don't know why the format today for the chapter is so weird. I really don't know why. But welcome to today's chapter day series. I hope you're doing well and staying all right. And when I updated the chapter day website that day, I watched a video. When I updated it for this chapter, I watched a video about afterlife, and it said something that really got me thinking that we should not be afraid of dying, but we should be afraid of where we would go when we die. So the fear shouldn't come from, oh my, I'm gonna die. The fear should come from, where am I going to go after I die? Are you going to go to hell? Are you going to go to heaven? That should be where your fear should lie. So yeah, that's something I really loved about the video. Anyways, welcome to today's series. So previously on First Samuel, we talked about Eli dying. Yes, Eli died for the sins of his family, and I feel like it really just points out how sin is something that is generational. It doesn't really stop, and you have to pray to God to help you if you're carrying or you're paying or ripping for the sin of someone in your family that has just been going on generation, or that's just been going on from generation to generation to generation. Those burdens and those grievances, you have to pray to God to help you overcome them, because the Bible even portrays them. So you have to, believe in it. You truly do have to. So Eli has died for the sins of his son, and the Philistines have taken the ark of God. So Israel is in the most scattered state of all, because this is reading from First Samuel chapter 4. It says, and she said, the glory is departed from Israel, for the ark of God is taken. So literally Israel is shattered right now, and Israel is broken. Israel is on the rim of just tearing into pieces, because the ark of God is gone for. But and it got me thinking, God is omnipresent. He's everywhere. He doesn't need something to confide him into one place. But I realized that the Israelites were not trying to confide God into one place. They were kind of like using it as a symbol, to portray God's love, God's care, God's salvation, God's mercy, and just God's abundance in their life. Because before this book of First Samuel, before the Israelites are in this state and battle against the Philistines, they have been having a very bumpy relationship with God, and the fault is on their area. And it's because they, had faith and power, and they gave faith and power to the person who was the forerunner for God. Remember, Jesus has not existed during these times. The Israelites had faith in the people who were forerunners for God, and they didn't have faith for God. So more or less, they idolized the people who God brought to lead them and forgot about God. So they're making this ark of God to kind of show their mercy unto God, and to symbolize it, and to remember God's love and God's care for them, so that if they're put in a situation where they face idolization, or they face putting power and faith in humans, they would look at that ark and be like, that symbolizes God's love, God's care, and God's abundance for me. So I really found that really enticing, because it was like, wow, they're not doing this to confide God in one space. They're doing it to show God's, love for them. So yeah, find something that, shows you God's love in your life, or depicts God's love and God's abundance and God's presence in your life, because I guess it'll help you not to sin when you look at it, or when you read it, or when you hear it, whatever it is. It'll help you to become better, because that's what the Israelites did. Anyways, that's that for that part. I took 5 minutes to explain it, so I'm gonna ramble through this chapter. So today we're reading 1 Samuel chapter 5, and it is 12 verses, which is really short, as if it knew I was going to spend so much time explaining that whole part. Anyways, this chapter is talking about the Philistines, and the Philistines have taken the ark of God, and they're just humpy going to Philistine. And they've gotten the ark, and now the big question is what we're gonna do with the ark. That's what they're asking themselves. What are we gonna do with the ark? So the Philistines are worshiping gods and idols and stuff like that. So they take these idols and they place them inside the house of God, and immediately everything goes astray. Literally everything goes astray. There's rumor, there's turmoil, there's just shattering of things around them, because they have taken idols and placed it in the ark of God, and therefore God is punishing them for doing that, because not only is that disrespectful and mockery to God and Christianity as a whole, it's straightforward ignorant for them to have done that. So their God is going to punish them, and they're going to rip putting an idol in God's ark. And the idols were Dagon, Ashon, and Akron. So I don't have a memory verse for today, because I'm trying to just sniffle around my little bubble, but we'll get there. I'll have a memory verse for 1 Samuel chapter 7, because tomorrow I'll have the chance of reading my Bible in the morning. Anyways, that's that for that, and I pray that we are all prepared for the end times and to go be with our God, our Father and Creator. And I ask that He gives us more grace to overcome our shortcomings as Christians, and to bring more people to His kingdom. And as you guys remember, I was trying something for a week. The challenge doesn't finish till Sunday, this week Sunday that we're currently in, where I pray for people. I don't pray for myself, I pray for people. The only prayer I've prayed for myself is God's mercy and God's salvation. So basically all my prayers have been praying for people that I remember, and sincerely it's an awesome feeling. Apart from my own shortcomings as a person, I have flaws, I'm not perfect. I feel like overall I've just been more aware and more happy, in a sense. Again, some part of my life might be a little bit that's because of my flaws, but the other side, just praying for people, and realizing that wow, a lot of people are suffering, and no matter how bad or how strange or how wrong your situation may be, like, there's always someone out there who has it more worse than you do. So it really just was eye-opening. So yeah, try it. Prophet Nehemiah in the Bible, he spent his whole life, he never prayed for himself, he only prayed for people, and for more people to come to God's kingdom. So that's what we're doing for 1 week, and I hope you try it out, and I hope it works, because it's amazing praying for people. Anyways, I've rambled so much. I hope you have a good day, you stay safe, and I hope God helps you. And please accept God truthfully as your personal Lord and Savior, and may He give us more grace to continue our walk with Him. Bye. See you in the next chapter.